got a new top box. Very happy. What I've been using for quite a long time is this Evie, and it's been great. I mean, this thing has held up tremendously. I've been rear-ended by a pickup truck, shoved this thing into me, broke it off. I just bolted back on. It's been really good, but it's very limiting. It looks good because of the curves to it, but those curves suck space like you wouldn't believe. Every time I try to load this up with, I usually carry my food, my laptop, my cameras, stuff like that when I'm traveling in here, and these curves, they're very limiting with what you can get in here, and you're kind of building it almost in a mountain. On the bottom too, everything curves. Another thing I didn't like about it is when I'm traveling and I've got all my gear packed up here, you can't get in it. You try to open this and it bumps right into it, and I end up getting into it about that much. So that, and went on a ride last fall, came back, and the whole light assembly was gone. I don't know, wires were hanging. So time to get rid of that. Did a lot of searching, and what I found is this from Hepco Becker. It's their Explorer model, and I know it's more of an adventure GS style, but wait, still think it looks pretty good. What really sold me on this is this. Latches over here, opens to the side. This is the only box I have found that does this. And I know a lot of guys would not necessarily consider putting this GS type on more of a sport touring bike, but this thing is, I'm really excited. I think this is going to work great. I can be loaded up. I can get to all my stuff. When we're out doing our rallies and hitting the country roads, we want to stop, get something to eat, get camera out, do whatever, full access. So I'm very excited about that. Much more squared off, but with these chamfered corners, it's got a little bit of a sleeker look. It doesn't look as boxy as a typical GS box that has the full 90-degree corners all around. You've got tie-down points. There are accessory rails that you can get to go across the top. And I think it's really pretty slick. It comes to the mounting though. So putting a non-BMW box on, well, this is a 2000 R1100RT, with this rack system is a pain in the butt. What I did with the Givi is, this is the universal mounting plate that you get with it. And it just wasn't big enough. Nothing was, you can't have it this way, wasn't working. So I got a blank router table insert. It's a phenolic plastic, very durable. Can mount that on there first. Gives me a great solid platform. Then I can mount the universal rack on top of that. Worked like a charm. I ride 2 up with my wife. It's been plenty sturdy, no issues. Not overly crazy about all that's going on here, but I didn't have much choice. So now we come to the Hepco Becker. Now the rack that they have is very slick. You got a cover plate that goes on. This is the universal. This is not just for looks, this is actually part of the hold down. So the back of the box clicks in here, and then there's a latching mechanism that goes around here. This is just a cover for accessing the mounting hardware. Now, I can't necessarily mount this directly here because I won't be able to get to the latch because of this bar coming across here and this one here. So, here's what I'm thinking of doing. 4 bolts, 6 bolts, take this rack off. I've already taken out the others. So that releases the rack. If I take my plate and I mount it on here, put some spacers in here, bolts going all the way through. It'll be nice and clean. I can then bolt this directly to that, got it all leveled out. Then I can simply go through and cut out these sections, cleaning these sides up, giving me my space for the latch. And now, because this is raised up, I don't have any bars going across here. I'm going to have a ton of access to get in here. And this is what we're looking at. So this is the front, and you've got to access this latch. You got to be able to put a key in there, pull this down, this latch comes up. It's very solid and secure, but you got to have the room to get to it. Another benefit of this rack that I really like is this bump stop. Take that off, you want to load something big on here. This is great. Good tie down point. So I got this at Moto Machines. Terrific to work with. I was really happy. I worked with Albert there, great guy. Really walked me through the paces and helped me. Great with explaining any concerns, questions I might have, figuring all that out. Going through all the accessories. Like I said, there's some top rails. There's top rails you can get for it. There's a drop-in bag. There's a backrest. What else? I think a carry handle. It's got 2 handles on the side though. So, check out Moto Machines definitely, guys. And girls. So, now let's get figuring on the mounting of this and we'll see where it goes. The rack is finished and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. It is very secure and I think it ended up with a much cleaner finish than what I had on before. There's plenty of room underneath here for the latch mechanism to come down and grab onto the mounting plate, and plenty of room to get my hand in there to put the key in to work it. To mount it, I have 2 bolts going through this mounting plate that I used a router table insert for, and those go into the rack that is part of the bike. In the back, underneath this cover, there are 2 bolts that go down through tubes, extension tubes that I made, that go into the threaded nut that is part of this mounting section here. To do that, I used a aluminum tube, which I then cut to size and also fitted with another nylon tube that snugly fits inside. The bolt then goes through the nylon tube and through the aluminum tube. And the reason I did that is so that there wasn't any rattling, and so that when I have this mounted here and I want to put any kind of rock strap against it to pull on it, it's not going to pull this into the bolt. I also put a countersink in the underside of the plate for the aluminum tube to go up into. Then I simply powder coated it and we have a good clean finish. There is mounting bolts underneath this panel that then hold the rack onto the mounting plate itself. For the top box, it slides in. There's 2 areas that hook underneath here, and then the latch holds it very securely, and I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. I like the look of it on the bike, and I know that it's going to give me a lot more packing area inside. For added versatility, I put in a USB charging port, The wires I have glued down coming out to a hole that is siliconed. I'll eventually enclose the entire inside in a fabric material, a thin carpet, so that this is padded. The whip comes out with a quick connect that goes underneath here and plugs right into a wire coming out from underneath the seat. This way I can charge cameras, phones, and have them locked inside the case when I'm doing so. So I'm very pleased with the way this turned out. I really like the looks of it. I like the versatility it's giving me. I think I have actually added capacity with a unit that is taking up the same footprint as the Givi it's replacing, simply because it is more squared off and not as rounded. The fact that it opens to the side is going to be huge for me personally. With all my camping gear, to be able to have full access is a real plus. Structure seems very solid. Time will tell. We'll see how this goes. But so far I'm very pleased with how sturdy and strong it is. Hope this video helped out. If you've got any questions or comments, we'd certainly love to hear it. So please drop us a line. Thanks for watching.